So, assuming you have notes like this, for those of you who like writing a lot of notes rather than typing directly, or probably you got into a situation where maybe you didn't have your phone, or maybe you just couldn't type, but it was faster to write, um, you are likely to have things like this which you would need to digitize. Okay, so just so you can later on make your learning easier. We've learned how to use Notebook LLM to make learning easier, to generate live quizzes. We've done similar with Gemini. We've seen how to, you know, extract some information from links, whether YouTube videos or articles with ChatGPT and all that. But um, if you're in the case where you have your information in notes, written notes like these, and you need to find a way to go through them quickly, you need to digitize them first before you can create live quizzes and things like that from it. So this session we are going to learn how to quickly turn these into digitized formats, and we'll be doing that using ChatGPT, and then we'll attempt doing that with Gemini as well. Okay, so this is ChatGPT. Um, we can do this all at a go, but I want us to do it one after the other. So I'm just going to upload the the notes. So if you observe, the handwriting here looks cursive. Sometimes it could be hard for humans to even read, but let's see what AI can do. So this is much different from this and this and this and this. You can realize that there are notes coming from two different people. So we are going to start with this, and okay, so it's loaded in here. We can tell um, ChatGPT to give us a digitized form of it, or maybe just type this, and let's see what ChatGPT will do with it. Okay, so you can see the kind of information we are getting here. Inventory, contemporary data, collection approaches, learning story, social cultural approach, plan, benefits for learners and teachers. Let's go to the image and see if we can find something close. Here we can see inventory, contemporary data, collection approaches, learning story, social cultural approach, plan. I mean, AI has been able to capture this information in a very, very impressive manner, because the information is very, very, very accurate. You can see that. So, like I said earlier on in the previous videos, AI can make mistakes. I mean, down here it says ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important information. Even when we go to Gemini, Gemini also tells us the same thing. So um, let's try transcribing or digitizing the notes over here in Gemini as well. So type this. Let's see how Gemini handles it. So yeah, what I was saying earlier, Gemini also says Gemini is AI and can make mistakes. In other words, if you have your notes in such a situation, ensure that you can cross-check, or ensure you cross-check right after, you know, digitizing it in this form, because AI can actually make mistakes. So we are seeing left column, it says inventory, contemporary data, collection approaches, learning story, social cultural approach, plan benefits for learners and teachers. I mean, it seems to even capture numbers, or it's either it's mistaking these for numbers or capturing it as numbers. Even as a human, I'm not so sure what it is, but Gemini could just tell that there was a difference between these two, the whatever symbol that was beside learning story and sociocultural approach. So it mistook them or probably got them right as numbers. So you can see 1 learning story, 2 sociocultural approach. So this is some good or some very impressive digitization process that AI is able to do for us these days. So if you have something like this, you can quickly turn it into a PDF, into a Word document, into a PDF, and then you can go back to generating quizzes, summaries, and things like that with AI. So how about so this is ChatGPT again. How about we bring in, numerous pages like this, and then we say type this into a single document. So you can see what ChatGPT is doing here. Inclusivity. UNESCO defines inclusive education as a process of addressing and responding to diversity of needs and etc. 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 Let's see if we can find such an information somewhere. Yep, it says inclusivity. UNESCO defines inclusive education as a process. So I mean, everything we are seeing from the AI so far is something that was initially on the photos, the photographs of the pages, the written notes. So this is how to digitize your information or your notes. Okay, so we can go ahead and even tell AI to make it into a PDF. So turn it into a PDF. I mean, you can as well seek more clarity on the notes. You can ask questions, ask for summaries, ask for explanations, like we did in previous videos. So you can check the previous videos if you haven't, so that you better understand what we're talking about here. So ChatGPT is still writing a PDF, and what I want us to do is, right after getting the PDF, you're going to send it to Gemini and tell Gemini to create a live quiz with it. And yeah, and so far you can tell that the what do we call it, the notes talk about education, I mean equity in education, diversity among learners, hearing impairment. It still has to do with barriers with regards to education, physical impairments, autism. Okay, so our PDF is ready. We're going to download our PDF on one click. I guess so the download is ready, and this is our information. Okay, this is beautifully done. Inclusivity, UNESCO defines, etc. 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 Good. Now let's go ahead and ask Gemini to create a quiz from the PDF. So I'm going to upload the PDF, and then this is it, inclusivity, and then tell Gemini to generate a live quiz based on the information here. And that is awesome. How does UNESCO specifically define the process of inclusive education? A method of segregating students, a system where only children with physical disabilities are integrated into standard classrooms. We can just go for D, and that is the answer. So I'm just going to skip through I'll just move through the quiz questions like we did in previous sessions. And of course, if you have something like this, you can still give it to Notebook LM, and Notebook LM is going to turn it into flashcards and what do we call it? It's going to turn it into flashcards and quizzes and audio notes and even video notes like we've seen. So I just want to quickly upload. So this is Notebook LM. I'm going to quickly upload the PDF there. So instead of searching for web resources, I'll just come to upload files, and then I'm going to look for my inclusive education notes and I upload. Good. So this is a brief information on the notes, and I'm going to ask Notebook LM to give me a quiz on it, and it's generating. I'll go ahead and ask for a flashcard, and we might not go through all of them because we've gone through these features in previous sessions, but I just want to demonstrate that you can turn your written notes into digital forms like these and feed it into AI and make your learning easier and faster. Again, we can open the notes in Microsoft Edge, and we can deploy Copilot, or we can also use the read aloud feature.
Inclusivity. UNESCO defines inclusive education as a process of addressing and responding to diversity of needs of all learners through increased participation in learning, cultures, and...
So you've seen it right there. Now, there is this one last thing I want to show you. Our flashcards are ready, our quizzes are ready, but I'm going to show you one exciting thing after this. We've seen these features already. We've seen it in Gemini, we've seen it in Notebook LM in previous sessions. We have the flashcards. You can create mind maps and things like that. But I want us to now move on. So there are other features in ChatGPT that you can use. For instance, so we're going to open ChatGPT over here. Now let's assume I don't want to take pictures, but I want to read them directly to ChatGPT. Mind you, I'm using the paid version of ChatGPT. I'm using the paid version of Gemini. There are some limitations that you would face or you might face when you're using the free versions. So I would advise you to get the paid versions. So I'm going to read some of the notes aloud. I'm not going to type them. Okay. So just listen to this. Dictate. Okay. UNESCO defines exclusive education as a process of Unfortunately, I can't see so well on the I can't see the notes so well, so I'm struggling to get some words. But I mean, everything I'm saying now is being registered or is being copied by ChatGPT, as you are seeing down here. So let's just assume that everything I've said up until now is part of the notes. I'm just going to click this. And it gives me the text. Okay. And I can copy it, paste it somewhere. I can actually, and mind you, there may be mistakes in here, like I always tell you. So after sending it in, or even before sending it in, I'm going to write over here before the text comes. I'm going to write correct the mistakes in the following paragraph. This is just so I don't have mistakes in my text. Okay, so UNESCO defines inclusive education, blah 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 blah. Then I can copy and paste this text somewhere, turn it into a PDF, or I can actually ask ChatGPT to turn it into a PDF or a Word document for me. And then I continue. There is another AI that is very, very good when it comes to turning speech to text. Okay, I mean, ChatGPT does a good job. Now, Gemini also can do that, but at this point or at this moment, Gemini isn't so good when it comes to turning speech to text. There are more errors Gemini would make, which ChatGPT wouldn't make. So I wanted to try 11 Labs, and 11 Labs is actually pretty good. So 11labs.io, and 11 Labs actually has so many features: text to speech, speech to text. It can do so many other things. Okay, so we are going to do, instead of text to speech, we're going to do speech to text. And I'm just going to say random things, assuming that those are my notes, and then we'll see what happens. So this is me saying something very, very random for the sake of testing on 11 Labs. If we had text, or if we had text written in our notebooks, which we want to turn into digitized form, then we can speak it to an app or a platform like 11 Labs, and then they turn it into text for us, as in digitized text, which we can later turn into PDFs using different means. Unfortunately, I don't think 11 Labs allows you to turn text into PDFs. So I just ended it, and let's see, what does it say? It says, for the sake of testing on 11 Labs, if we had text, or if we had text written in our notebooks. I mean, it pretty much said some of the things, or most of the things I said. It's not giving us the full information, probably because there might be internet lags or things like that. So you can test out 11 Labs. You can also switch from speech to text to text to speech to see how 11 Labs reads things for you. So let's just play this sample text they have over here, or better still, let's change it to the text we generated earlier on. So let's play it.
For the sake of testing on 11 Labs, if we had text, or if we had text written in our notebooks, which we want to turn into digitized form.
So you can see the natural feel, the natural voices that 11 Labs would also provide. There are other voices we can use. So there's the old storyteller, the crisp podcaster, social media, suspenseful storyteller, etc., etc. You can play around with some of these things and then see how best it works for you. So let's try the voice of James. I believe this should be finishing in a few moments from now. Yeah, so this is it. Now, like I said earlier on,
For the sake of testing on
Okay.
11 labs, if we had text, or if we had text written in our notebooks, which we want.
so you get a point. So like I was saying earlier on, the free versions of some of these AI apps like ChatGPT and Gemini doesn't give you so much power, so much control, so many, chances of doing the things that you want to do. Maybe they might limit you in terms of how many PDFs to upload, how many images to upload. There are a whole lot of things that you can even use. I mean, you can even go into a live mode discussion with ChatGPT using this. Okay, but this feature isn't available till you pay for a ChatGPT plan. Let's test the live voice and see. Hello, ChatGPT. How are you?
Anything else, just let
Okay. So, I mean, like I said earlier on, I seem to be experiencing some
me need.
network challenges, and this is affecting how smooth the chat is going. I would end it here. You can try it on your own and then see what comes up.